have 4 of their skill guys who run 4-3.
You're right.
So each one of them run a sweep. Like that's the outside run.
But still, Frank, the way the team is built, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1.
Yeah, aren't they built for the downhill running game?
Yes,
wrong.
But we don't do it. That's what we're saying.
In critical situations.
Yeah.
I think sometimes Stefanski doesn't realize how strong his team is in a certain area. Like he's not a coach that goes into the game thinking we got one of the most dominant run games in the league. That.
Right.
And he doesn't do it. So what happens is at the end of a game, you have a whole bunch of rush yards and it didn't play any role in winning the football game.
You remember a couple of years ago when the Patriots played the Bills and Bill just
said, had 3 passes.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to run the ball every play because they can't stop it, and they know it's coming. And they didn't stop it. We don't do shit like that.
But see, that's the thing. I've been saying this for 2 years since we've been doing this show. Coaches ask players, leave your ego at the door. It's about the team and winning football games.
So they should do the same.
So how you think a player feels when he's looking over at his coach who's trying to trick the damn defense? When you know you got one of the most elite run games in the league. It's great.
And it's evident. It doesn't matter who it is.
Right.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Jerome Ford came and he went for 68.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I agree. I just think they've got money in the guy and they got to throw him. But no, let's look at it like this. So this is so what happens now? What happens?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
a real question.
Sure.
So you think it's more important?
I don't think it's more important. I'm trying to tell you what Stefanski and what the upper management.
No, I'm asking you. So because you keep throwing this, they're trying to get Watson off because they paid him all that money. Let me ask you this: what's more important for Watson and Stefanski, other than winning? Did he get his numbers?
So here's the deal.
That's called the looter in the riot. If you get your numbers and your team don't win.
Here's the deal. If Deshaun comes out there and he averages 150 passing a game and we lose, Stefanski's gone.
Right.
Stefanski, he cannot, losing is going to dictate whether he's here next year.
Losing.
Deshaun has nothing to do with it because he's going to be here.
Because he bought some time this offseason saying, look at the stats when Deshaun was in there, passing for 260. We had a complimentary, 11 game or what he had 7 games with Deshaun and everything. It's, back to Frank's point, where do they go from here, guys? I mean, because they have weapons. Amari and Cooper, that dude can still ball, right? Somebody still ball.
Yeah, ahead, well, on the run game, so does that phone call get made to Kareem Hunt?
Word on the street is he's visiting. That's word on the street.
Okay, yeah, but you know what? That's fine because you're gonna need. Listen,
you're gonna need
I don't care what football team you are, you got to run in between the tackles.
Right.
I don't know if Jerome Ford can do that for a full game, right? Because he's not that big of a dude, but he can fly.
How big of an increase did Kareem Hunt's price tag just go up after that?
Right. I just said that to my daughter.
They don't have a lot of cap space, though, right? I don't know what their cap space.
They have cap space. Yes,
they have what?
They have lots of cap space.
I thought they did too. Now, does that obviously Chubb is going to go on this,
IR
reserve or whatever? Yeah. So does that free up? I'm not. I don't know. Does
no,
more
no, it still counts.
Okay.
That's why you clear that's why you have reserves, Frank.
Here,
so in case injuries do happen, Jack Conklin, prime example, right? He played right tackle. He got injured the first game.
Here's this, and you guys tell me if you agree. It's not who, it's what.
Right.
It's not who's running the ball, it's that you're running the ball.
Right.
Right. And so I don't care if you trade for Jonathan Taylor and he's 100% healthy. you still gonna have the same damn problems until that coach realizes, right? And look,
Hey,
here's what I hate. Here's what I hate about what happened, right? Now everybody's talking about as Nick Chubb goes, so do the Browns. That's what I was saying before. You said no, Deshaun Watson. Get the hell out of here. Hey. Now all of a sudden you're a Nick Chubb fan.
We're gonna need you to settle down.
Oh, I like that.
How was your radio show? How was your radio show?
I want to see somebody.
You know the difference between this.
We got to get some tape stroking out.
You know what the difference between this and the radio show is? I had more time.
Right. So he got to spread it out through the course of the day.
No, I know. Hey, they like enough with this Nick Chubb thing.
But going back to this whole running thing, if they run the ball and say, okay, Kenny Pickett,
beat us.
Eric, I applaud that. How about the turnover they got by Grant Delpin?
Nice.
You know, right there. The 3 plays after that turnover, pass.
Right.
And they were in the fringe of the red zone.
They went backwards.
They
went backwards and missed the field goal.
Hey, Leroy, I got a question for you.
No, they made the first field goal.
What's the conversation? You're the general manager.
Yep.
What's the conversation with you? What's the conversation you have with Stefanski either after the game that night or this morning?
Nothing, because you can't tell a coach what to do, but you could fire his ass. I'm just saying. Look, if I'm a G, here's the deal, Frank. This is the honest truth. If I'm a GM and I'm looking down on the field and I can see what should be happening and it's not, then we got the wrong guy. Because I shouldn't be the expert at this. I shouldn't be the expert at calling plays or whatever. I'm a personnel guy. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So if I look on the field and I'm looking down, I'm like, why aren't we running the ball? That's on the coach. So they got something for him.
Look here. My second year, Leroy's first year. Mike Lombardi came to me one day and they knew Bud was under fire. We had just went to the AFC Championship.
What was Lombardi's title?
He was the player personnel guy. Or was it Ernie Accorsi?
It was Ernie, and then Mike was.
Then Mike was below him, right?
And so Mike comes to me and says, "You know what? I was complaining about not getting the ball." I said, "Don't worry about it. You'll be here longer than him." Talking about Bud,
right?
I was like, "Cool." You know, I'm like, "Cool." And but here's the funny part. So one day, halfway during the season, right before Bud gets fired, he comes in the meeting.
Let me do it.
Hold on. Let me do this. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. I'm doing it.
I was like this.
You're not doing it. And so Bud knows he's under fire. And it's all in the paper that Bud's probably not going to make it through the season. Bud comes in the meeting room. He's talking to us gentlemen. He's hitting his glasses like he always did. And he said, and he just starts laughing at us. He just starts laughing. And he's like, you know, man, I'm probably not going to be here next year. But some of you won't be here either.
Dude.
People start looking around. They're looking around.
Like,
it's not going to be.
Oh, look. So I was like this because, you know, I was a rookie and I ain't never lost. I lost more games my first year in the NFL than I lost in high school and college put together. So it was a long season. Not to mention after the last game, I had to go to jail.
Yeah,
so
that's right. That's right.
Wait, I got 3
to go to jail.
I got 3 days in jail for a speed ticket because I got caught in Barton Fife Town.
Hey, Leroy was hoping we could get to the playoffs. Can we extend this a couple weeks?
Let's get back to this, Leroy. Did one of your partners bail you out? What happened?
So let me tell you what happened. So I got my rookie year. I had a truck, but then I got a 300Z, right?
Ooh.
Turbo. And so I set my alarm for 1:00 in the morning one night. and look, I woke up, put my clothes on, And I went on 71 and let that car have it.
Oh man.
Like,
Man.
Right? So I look in the rearview mirror and I'm like, damn, look at all them lights. I said, they must be chasing somebody. So I pulled over right before my exit. They pulled around me. I'm like, but damn, what happened? Guy, get out. Do you know how fast you were going? I said, no, I had my eyes on the road. So the other two cops start laughing. Right? So now he was even more serious. So I got a ticket and I had to go to mayor's court. It gets worse.
What's that? What's mayor's court?
I mean, the court is the town's so small
that
the court is run by the mayor.
Right.
Okay.
So you just get
postman.
You just get in the line, and he got the charges or whatever. So the two dudes before me, one dude had his third DUI, and the other guy had his fourth DUI, and they just extend their weekend jail. So you go to work during the week, and then you go to jail on the weekend. So one guy got another 6 months, another guy got another year. So I get up. You had a speeding ticket of going 100 plus miles an hour and a 55. I say, yeah, I'm sorry. Like that. He said, I can give you, you can get up to 30 days. 30 days? These two drunk drivers, you let them go home. And he said, 3 days for being a smart ass.
Hey, you know what he should have said?
What?
You get a week for not laying your ass there and just going to practice from there.
So
hey,
Leroy,
listen, when a story begins with I set my alarm for 1 o'clock in the morning. That's not a good.
Wait. I was 22 years old. I thought I was being responsible.
A veteran like Frank Stamms would have just went straight to practice.
Right. It was a lot of times. The offensive lineman Jackie Slater told me one time. He said, "Stams," he said, "Listen, he saw me show up in the same clothes I left in the day before. He said, you're on the Hell Express, Frankie Stams. You better get right with the Lord."
Hey, you remember when Bill put the song about me, Leroy?
When he did what?
When he played the video from Cops about me when I came late, when I was riding with a friend of mine and they got stopped and I came late to
Hey man, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, so it wasn't, I didn't get the 3 days of jail. So then the worst part is right after we played Cincinnati, after we lost to them, and I think that was the year they went to the Super Bowl. And so right after they get, report when I was coming in, they sent a couple of cops to my house, say you have to report at 10 o'clock. Okay, fine. So at 10 o'clock, and it was 3 days. So 72 hours. So I went all the way from 10 to 10, right? And so when I get to the jail, there's like 30 camera crews. I'm like, for a speeding ticket, y'all have to have something better to do.
Because they did. The judge, right as he hit the gavel, he said, "That's for fumbling against Pittsburgh."
So
Leroy,
man,
he didn't know your name. Like
right.
Frank was saying earlier, everybody knew Eric, man, when he was walking downtown Cleveland. You got to watch where you hang out, where you drive. Real fast.
I guess.
Oh, what a story, man. Well, that's a rookie mistake, right? What'd that cost you? What'd that cost you? What'd that cost you? What'd you get fined?
It cost a lot because I didn't get fined nothing because the season was over.
No, I'm not talking about NFL, but I'm talking for your ticket.
I don't even remember. But
you took 3 days in jail, opposed to a fine?
My insurance went way up. You know what I'm saying? They got you. They say you got your insurance double because you basically, they put an infinity sign for miles over over the speed limit.
You're listening to Into the Dog Pound, talking Browns football with Eric Metcalf, Leroy Horde, Mike Tomczak, Frank Stamms, recapping the Browns Steelers Monday night game. Browns lose what was it, 26-22?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, they lose. I mean, the loss isn't.
It was terrible football.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was sloppy
It
football.
was just sloppy for both teams. It was what, 5 turnovers in that game? 6?
Six, yeah.
Right.
You know
like,
what sloppy? You know what sloppy was the chant. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but in Pittsburgh at the game they were chanting "Fire Canada."
Yeah.
The offensive coordinator. It was going. I mean, I had friends of mine at the game and everything, both Browns fans and Steeler fans, and they asked Kenny Pickett after the game if he heard the chants. Midway through the third quarter, he goes, "No, I was so dialed in. I was focused on the mission at hand." Come on, man.
Here's the deal. Here's what I'm mad about most of all about the Browns. They're gonna lose some games. They ain't gonna go undefeated, right?
They can't.
Right. But here's the problem that I have. It's the fact that you got a bunch of veteran guys playing on offense that turn the ball over like that, especially a quarterback, right? And so that's what bothered me. And
he only really turned it over once.
Yeah,
on his own.
It was a strip fumble.
Two critical penalties, guys, which I've never seen in a National Football League. A quarterback getting two face masks.
No, they said.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
They said there was another quarterback who did it a couple years ago. He's the second one for it ever to happen to.
Probably Josh Allen, maybe. I would think Josh Allen.
Yeah, but as a running back, you can grab the face mask. They won't call that on you.
I want to say it was Kirk Cousins.
All right, go ahead.
How do you get two personal fouls?
Face mask.
Face mask, yeah.
So why is it two personal?
Stiff arm. Well, no, in separate occasions, Frank.
You're not
watching the game.
Not the same play, right?
No.
Correct.
Here's the deal, Frank.
I get that.
When we're running,
I saw the one out of bounds. Is that where he bumped the ref? They're saying.
No. He just got a face mask.
But
aren't they talking about him? Weren't they talking about Deshaun bumping?
Because right after when he was talking, he was John with him. Yes, that did happen.
But the crazy thing about it is, Met, whenever we ran the football, we always running backs and receivers. If you got the ball and they come and tackle, you could grab it.
Right.
It's never been.
But you guys didn't keep it on. You didn't keep it on for a long time. You just kind of shielded it, right?
No,
open hand.
The first one looked like his hand actually got stuck in there.
His pinky did.
Yeah, which could have actually been terrible because that was his right hand.
Right.
That was his right hand.
That's another, but see, my whole thing, that's where, that's another thing that's bullshit. And this is, you guys could punch me in the face, but if I punched you in the face, that shit didn't go. And that needs to change too. Punching people in the face. Because I've seen,
That's where we going with the rules.
Yeah, I agree with Frankie on this.
It happens. It happens once every 4 or 5 weeks. It don't happen as much as you think.
Well, I guess it's okay then.
No, I'm just saying, like that. Like, all right.
Yeah. Well, anyways, my point being is it's not so much the action. It's just what's good for the offense should be good for the defense and vice versa. This whole thing about protecting players, they don't know.
Anybody ever got hurt from that?
They don't. That's not that's not the point. I mean, to me, it gives, if you can punch me in the face, then I should be able to punch you in the face.
Okay, then if you can hit me in the knee, I should be able to hit you in the knee.
Exactly. But they don't allow it. So what I'm saying is, if they don't allow me to punch you in the face, you shouldn't be able to punch me.
Wait, a stiff arm is not a punch. What are you? Aren't you carrying this a little bit far?
Well,
hands to the face by an defensive lineman, though.
Thank you, Mike.
They get penalized all the time.
Yeah,
they get up in there, and hockey players do that rub with the glove and everything, and get up in there and get.
Yeah, but stiff arm, for the most part, is never really a grab, right? But sometimes when you go to
his hands to the face. I mean, if you punch, if you're pass rushing, you punch a guy in the face.
But we're not punching.
That takes me back to, you can't pick and choose when you want to call face mask, because Deshaun got face mask.
Did you see that?
And they called holding on the Browns.
Yeah, no, that was.
They missed that. Yeah.
Face mask and what's not.
And let's talk about the bullshit at the end of the game where the guy, everything.
I got a still picture of it.
Everybody says, "Oh, if he's got your jersey, that's a penalty." He had his jersey, no freaking penalty.
Yeah, I mean, but once again, when you get to that point, we're not in that position if we just run the ball and say Kenny Pickett beat us.
Correct.
No, I agree. No,
we're not in it.
I bet the best takeaway tonight is we should have not we let the Steelers beat us. Right. If we would have said it, just punt it, make them score on offense, they couldn't have done it. We'd have won that game 14-0.
But that's the point. I think that's the point we've been making all day. Is that we gave them hope. And if we would have made them have to beat us, that means drive the distance of the field to score. I don't think Kenny Pickett could have done it. He would have had a couple of big plays, but they weren't really running the ball. So the defensive side of the ball, the game was exactly where it needed to be. Make Kenny Pickett beat you. And we gave them too many freebies. And they only scored one touchdown offensively.
Unfortunately, on the defense for both teams, the offense played into their hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
On both teams. We should have but we didn't. And so that helped Pittsburgh's defense. They couldn't run the ball. We wanted them to pass, and they couldn't.
I'm Tannehill. Okay, I'm playing for the Tennessee Titans. I'm facing the Cleveland Browns this Sunday, 1 o'clock. And I've seen two quarterbacks, Joe Burrow and Kenny Pickett, watch the rush, get scared, and be ineffective throughout the whole game.
Well, we know damn well, Mike Tannehill.
Right. You know they gonna run the ball. We know they're gonna run it.
No, we know they're gonna try to.
Right.
Because they know deep in their hearts that there's no chance they win the football game if they can't run the ball.
Correct.
Everybody knows
one-dimensional, yeah. And that defense, I was really impressed with the Browns defense. I didn't see the first game as much as you guys did. I know it was sloppy conditions, but they shut everything down. This game, they controlled the tempo except for that one play. I know we talked about it and everything. So going forward, optimism, right? Optimism on the defensive side of the ball, would you imagine?
Mm-hmm. You know, I feel good about it, what they're doing. I mean, they're playing good football. The only thing I have a problem with, these guys keep getting hurt. They're starting to get hurt. They keep getting hurt. I mean, they're playing aggressive football, which you have to in order to stop a team, but they're getting hurt. And so that's the one thing that we're going to have to avoid in order for this defense to stay together and stay productive. Right. But in the first
everything they're doing. Everything they're doing.
They've been lights out. They've been lights out and doing everything that we wanted them to do that we could have, if they would have been doing in previous years, we could have probably been deep into the playoffs.
Right.
Absolutely. And then, you looking at the Tennessee, they got a victory. They came back and beat the Chargers late, right? So they're 1-1.
That had more to do with the Chargers, though.
I agree with you, but still, you can say the same thing with the Steelers, right? You can say the same thing with the Steelers.
You think we are sitting here upset about how the game, and I won't even say was managed. I would just say calling plays to put your team in harm's way in a game like that. And we all know this is the thing that drove me crazy during the game. I just had flashbacks from when we were playing, when Pittsburgh would sit back and say, "Don't worry, boys, they'll come to us. They'll come to us." And we kept trying to trick them and do certain things, pick, turnover, something crazy.
My one positive of this whole thing is, as bad as they played, they still could have won this game.
Yep. Even with all the turnovers and the
turnovers, missed field goal, gave up touchdowns on to the defense, they still could have won this game.
Yep.
So with that in mind, that's not going to happen every week.
No.
If they play clean football, they would win a lot of games.
Yeah, that's it. But here, do you think? And here's what I'm afraid of. Okay. Kevin Stefanski may have been backed into a corner because he had Nick Chubb. People ain't going to feel maybe the same way with Jerome Ford back there. You see what I'm saying? So you think he's just going to air it out?
But I don't know if I think they won't feel the same. They won't say, "Oh, Jerome Ford is the same as Nick Chubb." However, that running game, he did the same thing. He ran for
right. That's what I'm saying, though.
That's what we need to see. Because
but you think
it's one of those plug and play things.
You think it was more pressure because Nick Chubb was so damn good that now that his backup is in, he's going to even throw it even more and not even rely on it like he would if Nick Chubb was the running back.
Hey, so if he throws it more, that means he throws it 50 and not 40. Right?
Yeah.
And what did they say? What did they say? Have they said what Chubb did to his knee?
He had surgery.
He had surgery.
No, but what was the damage done?
They didn't say whether it was. I thought I saw something about a dislocation and some
ligament damage.
Yeah,
some ligament damage. It's interesting. He has surgery that quickly for a night game. Usually, I don't know what guys take before a game and everything. Is there anything in your system? You get any caffeine, any blah, 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 all that stuff that Frank used to take. And usually they wait 24 hours, let some of the swelling go down. Maybe there wasn't that much swelling. They felt as if they can get surgery as quickly as possible. I mean, that's something.
I think, Frank, people have emergencies. Maybe they felt they had to, because it looked ugly. Yeah, maybe they felt they had to get in there and
that's so true.
Clean it out because they might have had some other type of damage that they needed to see.
Because once you do that, like an artery,
arteries, nerves, stuff like that. So you go in there as soon as possible. But people leave restaurants and then have surgery when they get in accidents.
Yeah, no doubt. Good point.
I hate to say this, and I backpedaled last week, but going into the season, I told you I picked us to win 11 games, go 11-6,
right,
and win the division.
You ain't jumping ship already, are you?
Oh, no, listen. I'm not jumping ship. I still think they're going to win the division. I still think they're going to go 11-6. But when I did this, I did it by quarters, every 4 games. I picked us to go 3-1 in the first 4. And I said the loss, I didn't say it on the show, but I said the loss was going to be Pittsburgh because I couldn't just say they're going to go 4-0. Just
nice.
And I said it was going to be Pittsburgh.
Nice.
I
like that. I like that prognosis.
They have won 21 straight Monday Night Football games.
It's crazy. It's crazy to get this. It's crazy.
Hey, what's crazy is a lot of things that they kept saying the Browns haven't done since
us.
And I will correct. I like to correct Bernie. I didn't want to do it on the spot last week. I didn't want to do it on the spot last week in 1993. I was playing for the Steelers, and that was the last time you guys started 2-0. But what week was it that Bill decided to get rid of Bernie in 93?
Week 5?
Was it week 5?
No, was it later than that?
Yeah, because we were 5-2 after we beat Pittsburgh with 2 punt returns. I'll let you guys. after we beat Pittsburgh with 2 punt returns, we had the bye week, and then he got cut. And he came back.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's when he went to Dallas and won a Super Bowl, right?
He won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So
he was on the team because I heard Troy Aikman mention that last night.
It's crazy because remember a couple of years ago they were saying the last time there was a playoff win was in 94. And I'm start thinking, and they fired that coach. We still talk about things that happened when Bill Belichick was there, and they fired him.
We played you guys 3 times that year.
And
that was 94.
In regular season.
We lost,
and it was amazing. And Cowher was up there. Cowher just had chin up there, and his fingers are always like this. Who says we can't beat them? Spitting all over everyone 3 times. They're coming to our house.
Listen,
our house.
That Browns team, including the playoffs, was 12-6, and 3 of those losses were to you guys, so to the Steelers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And guess what? Correct me if I'm wrong. All of the losses look exactly like last night.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just sit back, wait for them to screw it up, and take advantage of their mistakes.
Vinny Testaverde dropping back, getting hit in the back fumble.
Right. Yeah. And so it's like, you know what? The thing about rivalry games, no matter what you think, this team, they're good. You have to put your team in a position where they're not gonna make mistakes, right? So you may play it closer to the vest early, because if the game gets into the second quarter and it's scoreless and you playing on the road, that means you're winning.
You know what? I got to mention this because it's dear to my heart. There was another play that kind of killed the game to me.
When?
DPJ did not catch the punt, and it rolled down to the goal line.
Oh,
it rolled
the 1
like
yard line.
It rolled like 20 yards, 20-something yards.
Yeah.
And they had a drive going though. They came off the goal line, didn't they?
They came off
between the third and fourth.
Yeah. But they came off, and then I think that's when the strip sack right after that, I believe.
Yeah.
But had
the
they
fourth quarter took play down, right?
Right. Yeah. It's plays like that.
It's just, but it's just, we know this story all too well. We know what it's like to be in Pittsburgh. We've seen it every time we played there and we left Pittsburgh. We had the same feeling that we have right now.
And one of us has seen it from both sides.
Yes.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'll
just start my novenas right now, because there's a lot of Browns fans right now. And I said, I'm coming back for another year being a Browns fan. They set you up, man. They set you up. 1993, last time they went 2-0. But what a show, guys. What a show. I tell you what,
right.
you guys bring great insight. I'm so happy to be involved with you guys. Frank, you want to take us out?
Well, no. Well, we got the pick. The Titans. We're 3-point favorite.
We beat the Titans.
3-point favorite at home against the Titans.
We beat the Titans.
We all
Here's
in.
the deal. You're back at home. You're back at home, right?
Playing for something.
You got to get back on track. I just and here's what I'm afraid of, right? Let Deshaun Watson be Deshaun Watson in the flow of the game. Don't try to force the issue of Deshaun Watson. That's what you were talking about, Mike. That's what Frank keeps mentioning. I don't care how great a player is that you have on your team. He's still a part of that team, and he can only be great doing what his job entails. That's it.
I'm going to leave you guys with some coach speak.
Oh, come on.
Don't let one game cost you two.
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
What are you going to say? Wait, or you can say this one. On to
We're on the Tennessee.
I thought you could do coach speak, like run the damn ball.
We
need to run the ball.
Don't let one game cost you two. Awesome. Well, thank you, Browns Nation. You've been listening to In the Dog Pound, raw and unfiltered, found everywhere where you find your favorite podcasts. For Eric Metcalf, Leroy Horde, Mike Tomzak, I'm Frank Stams. Thank you for joining us this episode, and we'll see you next week. Go Browns, beat Titans.
Leroy got to go do 3 more days.
4 hours a day.
Later.